I don't know where I'm meant to be sitting.
We're just going to end up like...
Emma, you can sit on the left. I'm going to sit at the centre.
No, this is super intense.
Yeah,
I
that's
sit
why
here.
I sit in the centre.
Oh, come on.
Can I
The coffee.
I think we made it sick.
I know. I feel like I've made this wrong.
It's like...
Ems?
Oh, yeah, please.
I don't know if people call you Ems. I'm not sure it works.
My mum does.
Do you want to sit the other side with you, Kate?
No, yeah, I'm not totally impressed about being on this.
Being on the-
okay.
The guest side.
It's the intense
This is
side.
actually the surprises.
I've
Yeah.
never sat anywhere other than here.
Because there's no camera.
I'll sit there then.
I'm not allowed. I still can't get over the fact you let me and Saskia be on the same episode.
That was all James. It went great though.
I was like, I'm going to have to really try not to just chat.
But that's what you want.
Really
That's what you want.
concentrate.
Yeah.
Did you just chat then?
No.
You should have done.
Okay.
I am just trying to look at whether or not I'm going to sneeze, and I think I'm not. I was just warning you,
Okay.
Okay.
because I didn't want to do the introduction and sneeze. Well, hello and welcome to the All Nations Church podcast. I'm James Aubrey. This is season 5 of the podcast, and many of you will be listening to us on various platforms, but I know that some of you can actually see us because for the very first time, we are broadcasting on YouTube. Woo! And I've got some very illustrious friends to welcome to the podcast, to introduce their faces to the podcast for my usual partner in crime, Kier Adams.
Hello, you can see me now?
We can.
Very exciting.
Isn't he handsome?
Oh, thanks, James.
Very handsome.
No, I've had no makeup done, but...
No, I've had lots of work done and it's not helped me at all. And we're very, very excited this season that we're introducing a new presenter to the podcast. She's migrated from being our go-to guest at Christmas time to a full-time collaborator on the podcast. So all the best bits of season 5 you can give her the credit for, and all the worst bits are her fault as well. This is Emma Scott. Nice to have you with us, Emma.
No, I love the fact that it's now a collaborator and not I rock up as the person who doesn't really know what's going on, so I can just ask all the questions.
I think that that's where the Latin word collaborate comes from.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure that Latin is a collaborate's Latin word. I was just winging it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm mostly here for the coffee and the chats.
Yes, which is why people tend to listen to podcasts or watch us online. So thank you for joining us. We have had such a thrill doing the first 4 series of the All Nations Church podcast. We've really enjoyed it. And that last series where, Kier, you and I got to interview some friends from around the world who were
brilliant.
serving God in different parts of the world, different parts of the country. It was really awe-inspiring, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, very, very exciting. I felt very blessed we got to sit in the room with those people.
Yeah, and thanks to all the people who contributed. We know that some of you listen and some of you watch now, so thanks for doing that. We had some good bonus content at the end there with Dave and Deborah Lyon and with Matthew Lane. That was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good.
And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us for the first time, there are 4 series you can go back to and listen to if you want to as well.
Yeah.
Emma, what's been your favourite podcast so far? Because we know you've listened to all of them.
For the previous 4 series?
Yeah.
I think I have re-listened to the Arne Skagen one most.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that, although a lot of the Heroes ones, because a lot of the time it was people that like I thought that I probably knew, but actually, I don't know, hearing them being talked about by someone so passionate about them. Like when you say the last series for you guys was really awe-inspiring, for me, that was really inspiring of going, not just hearing about these amazing people, but then hearing people that often I knew talk about these amazing people and going, oh, I totally see that in your life, actually. When you're talking about your hero and you're saying, oh, I hope that I've brought part of this. No, I absolutely think you. Like when Andrew was talking and I thought, no, I can totally see that in you.
Oh, his episode was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
His episode was absolutely amazing.
In fact, I listened to that definitely at least twice.
And of course, your Amy Carmichael episode was, to use an approved All Nations Church podcast phrase, a tour de force.
We had lemon drizzle cake for that episode. That is my strongest memory of it.
We did. And that's the only sadness, actually, about being on YouTube, is that we've eaten all our lemon drizzle cake before we've recorded.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Might not look quite as good to have bunch of cakes out.
No, wouldn't. And but we are really excited. You've mentioned the heroes. We are really excited to say that later on this year, or maybe next year, depending on when we get them recorded, but soon enough, we are going to be releasing another series of hero interviews with different people, not only from this church, but from around the world, who'll be sharing us some stories from more heroes from church history, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
There's no way for people to write in to request heroes, is there? So they'll just have to kind of send us
The danger is if they write in a request, we might bring them onto the podcast to talk about it.
That's what we should do. Please do.
So there we go. So if you want that, then.
Be really, really good. But we should probably talk about season 5, which we should explain to the viewers and the listeners. We've recorded all the episodes for season 5 already.
We have, yeah.
And we're recording this kind of intro one last of all. We've done all our interviews.
Yeah.
And so we kind of know what's coming. We're quite excited, aren't we?
Yes.
And we've called this series A Life Less Ordinary. Viewers, listeners who are about our age will immediately recognise the reference not to a Danny Boyle film, but to the song by one of the all-time best bands from the 90s. Who are they, Emma?
They're Ash.
Ash. Yeah. Emma and I are big fans of the Northern Irish indie band Ash, and they had a great song called Life Less Ordinary. And we have called this series A Life Less Ordinary because we have spent the last couple of months interviewing various friends, leaders from across the world as well, about how they've been successful in living out the Christian life in different practical ways. So we thought season 4 was kind of really great for giving us kind of high-powered, big inspiration vision for the Christian life, hearing from apostles, evangelists, pastors and teachers about how God equips us for works of service. But we thought we could maybe take that down into the everyday life and say, how does that work in different facets of society and different facets of the Christian life? So we've had a real adventure last couple of months, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Shall we tease our listeners and viewers with a couple of things that are coming up?
Yeah, I think so.
And what would you say? What did you enjoy talking about with people over the last couple of months about A Life Less Ordinary?
I think it was really interesting to hear from people about how they break down their time.
Okay.
And how they turn their everyday moments into moments that they can be used for Jesus and stuff. About how people are making themselves available all the time. That was I found that really useful. Being in the room and being able to ask those questions. Yeah. And I think that I think other people will find it useful too. I hope.
I think so. And how about you, Kier?
Do you know what I think you're talking about season 4 and then what we've got coming up is really good. It's really good that we've managed to get these next to each other because I think there's a great example in that the life of Christ is about the big picture, but it's also about that big picture filtering down into the everyday. Yeah. So I'm really excited because I really like talking about the big stuff. Yeah. But increasingly in my life, I've really learned to enjoy taking a moment and thinking, okay, what does that look like for my finances or my time or what does that look like in a local church context? Yeah. And I think that this season actually really does that. I think that there's times we're going to be talking, we've recorded episodes about things like finance. We've recorded episodes about people leading a church. And actually, it really helps you see, do you know what? This stuff works. Yeah. And not only does it work, because we're not shoehorning it into something. Yeah. It works because there's a great power in it. Yeah. And it's the power of Christ. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, we've got some great stuff coming up over the next few weeks about how we can love our neighbours, how we can engage with culture, how we can move more effectively in the prophetic, how we can read our Bibles. Yeah. How God wants us to be more effective at not only working with adults, but working with children. Yeah. Really excited to hear people.
Do you have a favourite one so far, James? Or one you're really excited for people to get to listen to?
I'm really excited for people to meet our first transatlantic guest. Emma and I did an interview with an author from the United States of America, a lady called Rachel Gilson. Looking forward to people hearing that. Yeah. And we are launching the series with not one but 2 episodes from first-time guest on the podcast, but a great friend of us all, Mike Sutton-Smith, who leads Life Point Church in Swansea. And I would definitely say people need to watch out for both of those episodes because I think they were really, really
They
great.
were a tour de force.
They were. Yeah.
I'm excited because I wasn't there. So I'm excited to find you two have been so excited about these episodes that I'm super intrigued.
And I'm looking forward to it too because I was there, but I find, because occasionally I do listen back to the podcast afterwards and I forget what we've talked about.
Yeah.
Because you're so in the moment of thinking about what's happening next.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to listening. I won't be watching back because...
it's weird to look at yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone else for watching us on YouTube because we don't want to. But
yeah. Although I edit the podcast, so I have to watch us all.
Yeah,
back.
but you're very handsome at school.
He has to look a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
But we really, really hope that you'll join us for the next couple of weeks as we journey through A Life Less Ordinary. We have got lots of exciting things planned for the podcast over the coming months and year ahead. So, there'll be more than just this season. We've got a few more seasons planned, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Emma will come up with plenty more ideas after that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm going to write a list down the wall, actually. I was thinking. Then we'll just go through it.
We will do an entire Bristol-themed series at some point.
Don't say it if we're not going to.
Why don't we do like a podcast day trip to Bristol?
Yes.
On location.
Yes.
Should we do that?
I can show you around all the best places.
There we go.
We could find something spiritual to do in Bristol, couldn't we?
I mean, the rules will have to be, you will
fancy.
have to wear Lucianiacs and Dr. Martens, because I don't know otherwise whether they let you in.
I know what one of those things are, but not the other.
I'll get you some dungarees.
Okay.
There you go. We're wearing dungarees.
We might just...
Dr. Martens.
Yeah.
And walking around Bristol.
Yes.
Well, enough of this tomfoolery. We promise that the following weeks will have far more mature spiritual content and that it will be well worth your time listening, watching and listening again. So until then, it's farewell from all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And please join us over the next couple of weeks to learn more about A Life Less Ordinary.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Great.
I love the way everyone's voice, you cannot say goodbye on the same pitch.
No.
It's the law.